Welcome to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. I'm Bernie Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward sons. I'm here to help you sort through the chaos and keep it real for America. I spent most of my adult life working for the Department of Defense, first in the Air Force and later as a civil servant. I've been a supervisor and I've been involved in procurement. I know a little bit about how this thing's supposed to work, how the government spends money. Trust me, it is not great. Now, let's talk about the absolute meltdown happening over Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. People are
Where is all the
furious.
ads?
They're outraged. They're
With
tearing
current
their
and
hair out.
projected
I
deficits
get it. Nobody
and
likes
Fed
losing
expenditures by
their job,
32%. Let's make it
especially
even
those
40.
good
Oh, that's not
federal
necessary.
cushy
I
ones.
should-
But before we light the torches and storm the castle, let's take a step back and ask ourselves, how is it that Elon's team is finding all this waste so quickly and easy? Well, let me clue you in on a little secret, something I know a little bit about: financial disclosure forms. You see, most federal employees have to fill these forms out every year. And why? Well, they're supposed to help with transparency. They're supposed to prevent conflicts of interest and reassure the public that Uncle Sam's workforce isn't moonlighting as a stockbroker. Now, let me break it down for you. There's two kinds of forms. There's the OGE 278E, the big one. High-ranking officials have to fill this one out. And there's the OGE Form 450, slightly less fancy for regular folks. I've had to fill out both of them. Well, who has to file? Well, just about everybody who makes decisions with your tax dollars. That means congressmen, senators, representatives of all kinds, president, vice president, cabinet members, judges, bureaucrats making calls on contracts and grants and regulations. And what do they have to disclose? Well, pretty much everything financial: stocks and investments, crypto, side gigs and rental properties, liabilities and debts, gifts, travel reimbursements. Oh, and the oh so generous consulting fees. Now, in theory, this system's supposed to be keeping people honest. That's in theory. In reality, we've got some interesting cases that we can rely upon to explain things. For example, there's Samantha Power. She was a government administrator working for USAID. She's making less than $200,000 a year, but somehow she's got $30 million in the bank. How is that? Of course, there's Nancy Pelosi, the former Speaker of the House. Her husband's an absolute stock market wizard. She makes less than $200,000 a year, but she's got over $300 million in the bank. Don't know how that happened. He must be really, really bright. Well, I guess that's what public service gets you these days. Now, there's Aldrich Ames, for example. You might know that name. He was a double agent working for the Central Intelligence Agency. He's been in jail for about 30 years. His lifestyle didn't match his salary. You know what? I bet my last tax return that there's a whole lot of government employees in the same boat. Their paycheck didn't match their lifestyle. We'll find out. Since they're all signed up with these financial disclosure forms when they join the government, catching these crooks won't be hard. It's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. And these high level bureaucrats, when they whine and they cry and resign, here's what's going to happen. We're going to find out exactly how they were operating. And if they got nothing to hide, no harm, no foul. But I got a sneaking suspicion that a lot of these folks are about to have a very, very bad day. And for those of you screaming that these mean old Republicans are being heartless and cruel for cutting wasteful government spending, let me put it to you this way. Imagine your neighbor is driving around in fancy luxury cars, taking fancy trips, and sending their kids to Harvard. And they're doing it all by charging your credit card. Or when you call them out on it, they got the nerve to call you a hypocrite. Yeah, that's what's been happening. It's about damn time somebody did something about it, don't you think? Personally, I'm loving all this. I say, Elon, go get 'em. Well, you've been listening to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. If you enjoyed this rant, be sure, and I know you did, make sure that you subscribe, that you leave a like, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Tell all your friends. Until next time, stay free, stay skeptical, and watch your wallet.
Where is our money at?
With current and projected deficits, we need to cut expenditures by 32%.
Let's make it an even 40.
Oh, that's not necessary.
Slash it. Slash it.
My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
President Donald Trump's new Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE for short, officially established earlier this week after a first-day executive order. The new entity, which plans to try to slash billions in government spending, will operate as part of the executive branch, and they will have a congressional arm.
That is 19-year-old Edward Corstein, better known as
Big balls.
Big balls, big balls, big balls, big balls.
Time for DOGE.
Now, the disruptor-in-chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias to Harry Balls.
Time for DOGE.
Department of Government Efficiency, an acronym that just so happens to spell DOGE.